name is Olga Royo. I will discuss the components of international financial environment. The first component is the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market, often known as the currencies markets or forex, is an over-the-counter international market where the exchange rates of different currencies are set. These markets let participants to purchase, sell, trade, and speculate on the relative values of different currency pairs. Foreign exchange markets are made up of banks, forex dealers, commercial companies, central banks, investment management firms, hedge funds, retail forex dealers, and investors. The fact that the forex market is made up of a global network of financial centers that conduct business 24 hours a day, closing only on weekends, is one of its most distinctive characteristics. While one significant currency hub closed, another hub in a different region of the world continues to operate. Since currencies are the most liquid asset class available to investors, this raises the attraction of currency markets. The next component is the currency convertibility. It describes how easily a country's currency may be exchanged for other world currencies. A convertible currency is simple to trade on the forex market and is often unrestricted. Convertible currencies such as US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, and British pound are seen as trustworthy stores of value since they are simple for investors to acquire and sell. Non-convertible and restricted currencies such as the Cuban peso or the North Korean won are solely usable for domestic trade and beyond their individual borders. A currency that is blocked is one that exchange regulations prevent from freely converting to other currencies on the forex markets. Next is the International Monetary System. The well-designed International Monetary System, or IMS, controls international currency valuations and exchange rates. It is a well-run system that controls capital mobility, currency rates, and cross-border payments. The principles and guidelines of this system aid in calculating the exchange rate in terms of foreign payments. Today, the primary goal of the international monetary system is to promote global rapid growth with stable price levels. Prior to this, the scope exclusively included exchange rates. Taking into account financial stability has given the system a wider reach. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, were founded by the International Monetary Systems in 1944. Next is the international financial markets. International financial markets and international money markets make up the majority of global financial markets. Financial services cover things like trade financing, foreign exchange, international investment, and hedging tools like futures and options, among others. All of these banking services are offered by international banks. The euro currency markets, euro credits, euro notes, euro commercial paper are all part of the global money market. The foreign currency used in international trade and investment is denominated in the currency market, which controls the core of the global financial system. As a result, purchasing currency comes before purchasing goods and services. Next is the balance of payments. It includes monitoring and control by governments. Countries utilize the balance of payments (BOP) system to keep track of all global monetary transactions over a certain period of time. The BOP is typically estimated each quarter and annually. The BOP calculates the amount of money coming into and leaving a nation by accounting for all transactions made both the public and private sectors. A country is said to have credit when it receives money, while a country is said to have a debit when it pays or gives money. There are three main categories of the BOP: the current account, the capital account, and the financial account. In the financial account, international monetary flows related to investment in business, real estate, bonds, and stocks are documented. The current account should be balanced versus the combined capital and financial accounts, leaving the BOP at zero, but this rarely occurs. Next is the International Fisher Effect. According to the International Fisher Effect, or IFE, changes in exchange rates can be predicted using differences in nominal interest rates between nations. The IFE asserts that higher nominal interest rates are associated with the higher rates of inflation, which will cause a decline in the value of the country's currency relative to other currencies. In reality, there is conflicting evidence for the IFE, and in recent years it has been increasingly prevalent to directly estimate currency exchange rate fluctuations from predicted inflation. For example, if a country A's interest rate is 10% and country B's interest rate is 5%, country B's currency should appreciate roughly 5% compared to country A's currency. The rationale of the IFE is the country with a higher interest rate will also tend to have a higher inflation rate. This increased amount of inflation should cause the currency in the country with a higher interest rate to depreciate against a country with lower interest rate. So what are the various forms of exchange control? The numerous exchange control techniques can be broadly divided into two categories. First is the unilateral methods, and the second is bilateral or multilateral methods. Measures that can be taken alone or without consulting or agreeing without other nations are referred to as unilateral actions. So what are the methods of exchange control? First is the intervention. It is commonly adopted mild form of exchange control. Second is the exchange clearing agreements. It is a revolutionary innovation to the international and commercial systems. Third is the black accounts. Imply restrictions on the transfer of foreign capital or transfer of funds by foreigners to their home countries. Fourth is the payment agreements. The device is characterized as payment agreements. It is used to reduce the delays associated with making international payments and to centralize payments as is done in clearing agreements. Fifth is the gold policy. Exchange control can also be affected by manipulating the buying and selling price of gold. Sixth is the rationing of foreign exchange, meaning the government allocates funds for imports on a priority basis and in a set of amount only after exporters relinquish all foreign exchange earnings to the central banks at the set change rate. And last, seventh, is the multiple exchange rates, is adopted to reduce the deficits in the balance of payments. Under the system, different rates of exchange rates are set up to different exports and imports.